are people who start off differently from other people. But if you are poor in money, you're poor in network, you're poor in capital, that's not your fault. But if you are poor in mindset, that is your fault.
Today, we are very honored to invite Janice, a founder of a personal brand consultancy that did multi-six figures with very high margins. She's ranked the #1 personal brand coach in Singapore on LinkedIn.
If you do good work and you walk the talk, if you really truly are the best option in the market, there's no reason why you would run out of leads. If I lost everything today, I lost all the ingredients, I'll just create another menu. That's when you know you actually have substance. And if you feel like you can't, it's time to work on yourself.
Welcome to the 3M Show, where we invite self-made millionaires and entrepreneurs to discuss on the topics of money, mindset, and mastery. Janice, welcome to the show.
So formal. Thanks for having me.
Janice, you never went to school for the first 18 years of your life. What was the experience like? Take us through that.
So I think I would say largely happy, which I don't know if a lot of Singaporean kids can say that, but I'm very glad to say that. So my parents are very adventurous people. There are people who basically believe that if my kid likes baking, just go and bake. But the fact that I never went to school doesn't mean I was just sitting on the couch all day, right? So my parents' philosophy is more like, at age 10, if my kid tells me I don't like math, I don't like science, I like baking. Fine, prove to me that you like baking. Bake from Monday to Sunday. Bake 10 hours a day to show me that you like baking. And 10 years later, when the kid is 20, they have 10 years of baking experience every single day, Monday to Friday. They might not be mega wealthy, but they will be able to make a living out of it that they love. And that's my parents' philosophy. So I would say a lot of free play, a lot of experimentation, a lot of creativity. But I would say probably the biggest thing is that I wasn't afraid of failure because I wasn't conditioned to think that failure is bad. It's literally like when you watch a child, right? And we have so much to learn from them. They don't think like, okay, I'm gonna, ride my scooter and then I'm gonna fall. Oh my God, I'm a bad human being. They don't think that. They just think like, ouch, I fell. Then just, get up again, try again. And then because of that, they get better. But then now as adults, what do? We are like, oh, I did this wrong. Oh my God, the world is judging me. My life is over. I'm a complete idiot. I'm worthless now. And we don't try again. So we never get better. And therefore, I think that everyone is like severely under-optimized in terms of how happy and how rich they can be in multiple areas of life.
I fully agree with you. And in fact, that way of education is very different from conventional education, right?
Yeah.
In school, we get tuition for the subjects that you're weak at, but your parents told you to double down on what you're good at. Is that
Yes.
right? Okay. And so you don't do like assignments, you don't do tests. You will never mark down for mistakes.
No, I was marked down. Like factually, 2 plus 2 is 4. If I put 2 plus 2 is 3, that is a wrong answer.
But you don't get penalized.
The wrong answer doesn't mean I'm a bad person.
Okay.
It doesn't mean I'm a failure.
So,
it just means I got this one thing wrong.
So when you get something wrong, how did your parent taught you?
They asked me, does it feel good?
Okay.
Do you want to be better? Because my sister is very different from me. She's like very good at math. I'm not a math person at all, right? So I'm like, I don't feel good about this. Oh, then what do you want to do to get better? I'm like, oh, maybe I should learn that. So they help me see the point in why. And I think that's very crucial because what it taught me is ownership. So they let me do whatever I want. I never had a curfew, none of that. But I also never really had pocket money or allowance. So it's like, you want the iPod Touch? Oh, millennials watching this. The iPods used to be a thing. I think Apple discontinued it. But it's like, if you want the iPod Touch, go and get it. How? I don't know. Go watch your uncle's table for like $10 an hour. Go sell some cards for like $20. Do whatever to get it because nothing in life is free. And if you want to sit around and do nothing, you can. But don't blame me when you're like broke and can't buy anything. So that was the mindset. So it taught me very early on that I can do whatever I want. But then I only have, if I don't like the results, I only have myself to blame.
Wow, that's super powerful.
Yeah.
May I ask, what does your parents do for a living? They sound
They're
very
adventurous.
wise.
My parents are very private, but I would say they're adventurous. Like they traveled like to New Zealand, they traveled to China like in their 20s. They also left their corporate jobs in their late 20s. I think my dad was maybe early 30s to do what sets their soul on fire, so to speak, right? So it's almost like, let's just go explore the world. A lot of people, when they hear that I grew up overseas, they'll be like, oh, did you come from a rich family? No, like my parents grew up in like a HDB. I would say like middle. I wouldn't say like super low income, but definitely like we didn't live in a condo. My parents' highest education is like, I think secondary school or poly. None of them went to uni. So I think very average, but it's their mindset that's different. I don't know why they were like that, but because I grew up around that, that was the norm for me.
So Janice, what were you keen in learning when you were younger?
Honestly, I think I was quite entrepreneurial. Like
That's
I used
nice.
to collect stickers
Okay.
and sell them to my sisters. Like I would buy like one pack of 30 stickers,
Okay.
put them on colored paper, cut them up, and then sell it like for 20 cents per sticker.
So that was your first business?
Yeah, in a way, but like it was within the family,
Okay.
But I think even when I was like 8 or 9, my aunt, she used to work in banking.
Mm.
So all I knew was like banking people are very rich as a kid. So I also knew that I was very like a cute kid because people used to say I was a cute kid. So I was like, if I make some animal cards, like write happy birthday in a kid's handwriting, maybe it would cost me like $2 to buy the paper, but they might pay me like $7.90 because that's what it costs at gift shops at those times. So I started selling things and I realized if I can present myself in a certain way and create something nice and good, people are willing to pay me way more than what I got it for. So that was my first experience of value. And then with the extra $6 I made, I could buy more paper and reinvest it, or I could buy things that I liked, right, as a kid.
That's cool. And you negotiated your way into NUS, right? I think most people study like super hard, take A levels, poly, and they can't even get in. Can you tell us how you got into NUS?
Okay, so I'll tell you what I did, which is I went to the NUS website, SMU and NTU. At the time, I think there weren't that many other unis. But under the NUS website, because everyone's like, oh my God, NUS, best school, right? So I knew that my chances were very, very low, like maybe 0.0001% of chances of getting in, but it's not zero. So to me, it's like, what do I have to lose? So then I went to Popular Bookstore. I bought like foolscap paper, $2, ballpoint pen, 80 cents. And then I just wrote a letter to the dean or office of admissions on why I think I deserve to be there, what education is. And I think I wanted to initially go into economics or business. So I wrote about what is advertising. Why is it that when you sell chocolate for one for $3, no one wants to buy, but two for $5.99, suddenly everyone wants to buy it? Something like that. I can't remember exactly because I didn't save a backup. But essentially, I think the key there is that to me, if the chances of me getting in is not 0%, why not try? What do you have to lose? And even if it's highly likely to fail, if at least it's not a guarantee. To me, it's like if I don't try, it's like 100% guaranteed no. So between 100% guaranteed no and maybe a yes, I would pick a maybe yes. And I think that's the mindset that kind of became really useful for me in business as well, which is why can't I be young? Why can't I be female? Why can't I have more than 90% margins? It's about the how, right? Like if you don't even try, most kids in JC, if they don't make it to the uni admission mark, they might appeal. If the appeal fails, they stop there. Who's to say you can't walk into the admissions office? Who's to say you can't write a card? Like you're not even trying. So your chances are 0%. And I think so many people miss out on opportunities in life because of that. So yeah.
That fear of failure and the lack of determination. Were you always like this since young? Like to have that kind of winner's mentality?
I don't think so. I think I'm just stubborn. Like the more you tell me I can't do it, the more I want to try and find out for myself. So if you tell me that like the stove is hot, right? And then it might really be hot. But as a kid, I would be like, no, I don't believe you. And I touch it, I got burned. Okay, I learned my lesson. I can move on without thinking, why is this person telling me to do this or do that? So I think it's like I dared to try and I'm not afraid to lose. Therefore, I keep trying. And if you try enough times, you will eventually hit the jackpot, right?
And you eventually got first class honors.
Yeah. So that I think made my mom super proud because my mom's family, I don't really talk about family that much, but just very briefly, like my family, they all went to good schools. Like all your branded names, I don't want to say the school names, but the best in Singapore. And I remember when we came back for Chinese New Year, we would be like the backpacking, traveling parents who live in a HDB, whose kids don't go to school. And there was one day where my uncle came to me, he's like, oh, if your parents don't have enough money for uni, I can pay for you for private uni. And I'm just like, in my mind, I'm just like, sorry, pardon my French, but I was like, F you, who are you to do that? That's why I decided to apply for uni. Not because I liked studying, but because I want to prove to you, I don't need this piece of paper, but I will get it to show you that I can get it. I can first class honors, multiple dean's list my way through. Here's the piece of paper, and I still think it's useless. Not because I
F you,
can't.
uncle.
No, not because I can't, but because I don't want to. It's a choice. So I think there's a very big difference there. And I think I was very young and, I used like rejection or rebellion as like a fuel then. But, no hard feelings. I think everyone sees things in their own reality, right? So that's the way he succeeded. So therefore, he thinks that it's good.
So Janice, you mentioned that piece of paper didn't really help you much. I mean, well, it got you into a 6-figure consulting job.
No, I'm not even sure. Yeah, so it was the only time that I submitted it. But honestly, I knew even from then, because when I wasn't in school in 18 years, what was I doing? I wasn't sitting on the couch. So I was thinking like how to make money. So that was the advent of e-commerce. Like eBay, that was when Alibaba, you have to use like 2 or 3 .g third-party people to get things. That was the advent of like e-commerce and online shopping, right? So a lot of online stores, they were going on Facebook. So I really got to see the evolution of social media being commercialized. And I got rejected by McDonald's at 15 for a part-time job because they were like, you don't have N level or something, so you couldn't work there. And I think at the time the market rate was $3.50 an hour. Then I went to Watson's, it was $4.50 an hour. But in modeling for new businesses back then, they were paying me like $60 an hour, including makeup time. So I'm like, that's such a great deal. So then I started online modeling from there and gaining entrepreneurial skills, right? So my point is that I think I knew from a very early age that it's businesses that make money, not employees. So even when I got the first class honors, I was like, let me work in Raffles Place CBD for the first time in my life just to, check it off the list. Maybe I'll love it. Who knows?
Okay.
I looked for a sales-based job because I knew that that would be the biggest payoff.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think they hired me because of a cert. I think they
Okay.
hired me because I'm good at talking to people. I know how to talk differently to a French bank versus a Japanese bank. I know how to tone down my personality in the right setting to appeal to the right people. And I
So-
think it's a lot of that as a starting point salesperson that matters because you have no experience, right?
So
they're
Janice,
betting on you.
you're saying that having salesmanship is more important than having that piece of paper.
Yeah,
Is that right?
100%.
100%.
100%.
I fully agree with you. You made a 6-figure income through doing sales in a corporate job.
Yes.
Were you like the top salespeople, a salesperson?
I was the youngest and like probably top 10%. I was the youngest. I think I was like 21 and a half, maybe 22.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you were already at the top 10%. What advice do you have for people who are in sales careers?
I would say to try to be yourself. I think a lot of people when they approach senior people, even as a business owner or in sales, right? Or even appealing or applying for a job, I think a lot of people, they judge people based on their status. I don't see people that way. So I don't see you as like MD of global bank. I see you as like a guy who has a dog, who went to Italy, who likes to build sandcastles with his grandchildren. That's what I'll talk about with you first. And that builds rapport, and you can tell whether it's genuine or not. I'm not going to pretend to be like, I know my audience. I'm not going to be able to carry the same conversation with someone who can only speak Chinese, like, higher Chinese type of thing. Like that's not where I can thrive. So I know my circles and I just be myself. And I think so many people, they hold themselves back because they're so scared that this very senior, very rich person is judging them that, again, they don't even try. Like the lack of trying is what really is my pet peeve because people are like, this doesn't work. But then when I ask them, like, have you tried? You haven't even tried anything. So like, who are you to say that it's not working, right? Yeah.
Janice, you are seriously influencing me to homeschool my kids in the
Oh my
future.
God, that's actually a thing. I wouldn't do it.
Are you serious?
I don't think I have the patience for it. So
But you have the time.
I really owe everything I have to my parents, but I don't actually know if I would do it. However, I will say, even if it's not homeschooling, I think the traditional school system, oh my God, I hope I don't get cancelled. But
please do. We share the same view. It's broken.
I actually, when I went to NUS, I actually took a business course because I'm like, I want to do business. Maybe I should major in business.
Yeah.
And I realized that the business courses there, don't cancel me, please. It's teaching you how to be an employee. It's like teaching you like operational stuff. I'm like, I don't like math. I'm just going to make money and hire an accountant to do this math for me because I'm not good at it. I'm not good at filing these taxes, what P&L and everything. All I need to know is my margins and then make more money. And then eventually with the surplus, I can hire someone else to do the job for me. So I don't think the school is very equipped, especially with how we sell things now, which is digital and online. And plus with AI, the education system is severely behind that. So if I were to say like what makes you successful if you want a 6-figure career, I think you're more likely to get a multi-6-figure career doing sales, doing accounting, or even law, in my opinion.
It can be easily replaced by AI.
Yeah. Unless you're a really good lawyer, which I have friends who make like $1 million a year, who are so specialized and so nuanced that AI can't easily replace that. The vast majority of all jobs is going to be replaced, in my opinion.
Agree. And Janice, you eventually left a 6-figure consulting job and you went on to make like more than 50K a month in your business.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
How did that happen? So interestingly, I actually quit without a plan. So not advisable, but the reason why I quit is because there was an MD that I really respected in my old company. He was, I think, early 40s. And in 3 years, he got promoted from Singapore country manager to SEA country manager to 30 plus countries. And he was literally under the founder. It's a listed company. So I bumped into him at the elevator. Super fit, friendly, smart guy, right? Like perfect. And I asked him like, hey, name, how do you have it all together? And then he looked at me. In that moment in the elevator, I saw like he looked really tired. He looked really stressed. And I realized in that moment, it just did something to me like, I don't want to be you. And my best case scenario in this prestigious MNC company is to be you. And I don't want to be you. So why am I here? So that was why I quit without a plan. And then I think, long story short, how I started brand consulting is really looking at my media background, my understanding of media, and also business, like how is money made, right? Like I have experience dealing with MNCs is very different from dealing with SMEs. There are a lot of gatekeepers and stuff like that. How can I combine the business part and the creative part to make business fun? So my motto is like make more money, have more fun. I don't think it should be a stressful thing. I think if you double down to your skills, it can be something that's very fun, adds value, and you get rewarded for it.
So when you left, you had no plan yet, but you
No.
figure out it along the way.
Yes. I think, again, my motto is if I don't try, I'll never know.
Okay.
But I will say that what helped me balance it out a lot is I bought myself runway. So
Okay.
financially, I knew that in 12 to 18 months, this is the amount I have. I put it as a venture in a different bank account called betting on myself bank account. So I won't feel like my bank balance is going down because in my normal bank account, it's still the same. So I don't act emotionally, right?
Yep.
And I buy myself runway. And I told myself in 12 months, if I don't make the same monthly salary at least as I did in corporate, what's the worst case scenario? I'm in my mid-20s. I know I can sell. I'll go back. I'll interview for another job.
Yep.
And I'm not married. I don't have kids. Less liabilities. If not now, then when? If I really want to do it, right? So even though I didn't know what business I would do, it's like if I know one direction, it's 100% wrong for me. And then it could be direction B, C, D, E, F. It's still better than choosing the 100% wrong one, right? For me to explore, maybe this is the jackpot, maybe the next one. I don't know. But to me, it's like, rather than marry the wrong person, wouldn't you want to call off your engagement or wedding so that you can actually take a shot at finding maybe what could be the right person than the one that's 100% wrong for you? I see career the same way.
I mean, in Chinese, there's this saying, 选择不对，努力白费.
In Chinese, it's not that great.
Basically, when you
You
even
make
if
the wrong choice.
when you make the wrong choice, there's no point working hard, right?
Yeah.
It's wiser to make the right choice instead.
Yeah.
Cool, man. And how do you get your first client?
So my first client was actually a friend that I met in a previous business. I actually used to own a clothing store. But anyway, I met this friend who is a stylist and makeup artist for just for like Singapore magazines, for MediaCorp. She eventually even landed a job for Netflix. But I met her there through a whole different world, right? And then when the pandemic came, everything stopped for creative. Filming stopped. So all creatives lost a big source of income. And she was like struggling a little bit, like, what should I do? And I told her, you know what? I just left my job. I'm still figuring it out. Why don't I help you with the media knowledge that I have on platforms and how to sell things? And then also looking at her offer model and then also combining the business knowledge, right? So I helped her. And then that month, she, I think 2 or 3x'd what she brought in. And I realized, oh, there's something there. So I did it for free the first month because I was just trying to help a friend because I had time. And the second month, she's like, can I continue paying you actually to continue
So
this?
she
Because
offered
it's
to
like,
pay you.
because it's like results. So then it started from there. And then later on, I posted about it, talked about what I did. And then her friend saw it. She referred a friend. And then it's just rolling from there. Yeah. And I think if you do good work and you walk the talk, if you really truly are the best option in the market, there's no reason why you would run out of leads.
So the advice that you give to people hoping to start is firstly just try first, right?
Just start.
Just start and learn from your mistakes and eventually become someone so valuable that the market has no choice but to find you.
Yeah, but I think on a lot of people's minds, it would be like, if I start, then I fail and then I'm going nowhere. Like after 7 months, if I'm making no money, what do I do? Right? I would say that you want to be realistic. So I'm like, be delusional, but not that delusional as well. Be delusional and audacious enough to dream big, but also look at real data, right? Like if everyone tells you that your burger sucks, maybe your burger is really not that nice, right?
Got it.
So I think you should set an amount of time to try. For example, for 100 days straight, I'll post content, or for 100 days straight, I'll call 5 people every day. Then evaluate the data. Because what most people do is I call people for the first 5 days. Oh, I got a lot of no's because I suck at this, right? And then, oh, it must mean that I'm bad. It must mean that I'm not made for this. It must mean the industry is bad or whatever.
Mhm.
And then they just quit.
Yeah.
They
They-
just like don't try enough.
And they don't
you
take
know?
responsibility. Yeah.
Yeah.
They-
And then it's always the world's problem. It's always the world's fault, right? But have you ever asked yourself, maybe it's you that sucks? Maybe it's you that needs to learn a new skill.
Actually,
Maybe it's you that is not that great.
I think it's always our fault. I think
Yeah.
having that mentality is.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Janice, I think you nailed something very important. You mentioned that when you started a business, you had runway.
Mm.
And technically, when you started a business, it was zero cost, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think a lot of the younger people out there have the belief that business is risky.
Mm.
What do you think about it? Is business really risky?
It depends on how you see risk. To me, when I calculated it, right, working in a 9 to 5 won't be able to buy me the time and freedom at all, because the most successful people in 9 to 5 with 30 years of experience in a Fortune 100 company, based on their net worth, they still can't buy that freedom. And that's not what I want. So to me, it's more risky to live the next 30 years of my life not the way I want, unhappy, unfulfilled, but just with a lot of zeros in my bank. To me, that's more risky. So I think it's up to you to decide, like, what's more risky for you? Losing 1 year of your life, your friends judging you, your relatives not understand what you're doing, or giving in to like what the world thinks, but secretly you're super unhappy. Is that not risky to you? That's super risky to me.
Would you encourage the audience to start businesses that don't require capital like you did?
I would say that you want to play on your strengths, right? So if you are 70 years old or you're 7 years old and you're trying to start a business, it's going to pop off because it's like you're very different from other people, right? If you can speak both French and English at the same time because you happen to take French in uni or whatever, then it's going to do something, right? If visually you look different, of course, there's one way of differentiating yourself. But if what you're worried about is buying yourself more time, buying yourself more chances to try, then of course you want to use as little cost and capital as possible to get more runway, right? Because the more tries you get, the closer you are to that win.
Janice, as a woman, is it much challenging to build a business or personal brand in a male-dominated entrepreneurship industry?
Do you think entrepreneurship is male dominated?
If you look at the statistics, most leaders, based on the past 20 years, and most leaders and bosses are males. My personal belief is that in the next 20 years, the ratio will tilt. In fact, when I went to learn from my business mentor in China, based on their way of feng shui, the next 20 years is a female-dominated industry.
Okay.
But you started off when females were not known to be entrepreneurs.
Your original question was, is it harder?
Yes. Is it more challenging?
Is it more challenging? So I think it depends on how you see. For me, I'm someone who I prefer to see the winning chips that I have, not the losing chips that I have.
Okay.
So if you tell me entrepreneurship is male dominated, right?
Do you agree with that?
Let's maybe when I started,
Yeah.
or at least the ones who are more visible and more outspoken, they happen to be males because females, for whatever reason, tend to show up less, at least from what I've seen online. So, but my point is, like, if you say entrepreneurship is male dominated, let's say 80% of entrepreneurs are male, hypothetically.
Okay.
20% are female. Won't I immediately stand out? Can't I use that to my advantage? Right? And like, then people will be like, oh yeah, but then people will undermine your credibility because they might think it's all about looks. Then it's up to me to back that up with substance, right? It's up to me to back that initial first impression with like actual substance, with value. Otherwise, you can't sustain anything. And Singapore is a small place, and online you can be shut down in like this. It's hard to keep your reputation if you're not doing it right.
I love how you always focus on the positives and opportunities.
This is another thing I think I apply in life a lot, which is the world is just full of good luck and bad luck. Okay, there's gonna be great stuff that happens to you and absolute shit stuff. So it's just about what you want to focus on. Then it's like, what's better for you and your life? What's better for you and your goals? You can sit there and mock, oh, this person was not fair to me. This person thought that I only got here because I have a rich husband or a rich dad. How is that going to help my life? Like, I would rather be calling another client, closing more deals, making more money, and then jet setting off to a holiday where I can get a massage and then feel great about myself,
So Janice, you seem like someone that has overcome a lot of challenges, hard times, adversity. I mean, for you to have such a strong mindset, you definitely have went through certain shit in your life. What was the lowest point or what was the biggest challenge that you had to face?
I don't talk about this. Actually, I'm not sure if I've ever talked about this online. But I think the most difficult thing for me is I love my parents, like especially my mom. She's like my best friend. And I think she was really proud when to her Asian relatives in her generation, she could be like, look at my daughter. She graduated. Now she's working in the CBD.
Mm.
She really supported me when I quit, but she didn't understand it. And then when I started my business 3 months later, basically, long story short, she had a very sudden cancer with no signs. And then she left in like 20 days.
I'm so
So
sorry to.
it's like I didn't get the chance. I think one thing that I regret is I'm always rebellious. I always have an alternative view. She knew that growing up as a kid, but it's like I think I wish that she could see that I'm doing better than the CBD. She didn't really get to see that
Mm.
because she was so sick. Even though I started gaining traction early on, right? So she didn't get to see that. Not like it would have mattered, but she didn't ever get to fly business class. She didn't get to go to see a lot of the things that she didn't get to enjoy as a kid. Like she brought me to see the world when I was a kid, backpacking. Like I want to bring her to see the world in a different lens, like where we can eat at a restaurant where you don't have to look at the price. But I think I don't have that. But what I take away from the situation, it's mentally and emotionally was like a lot to process. Well, starting up a business, it was 3 months into my business. Can you imagine? The next day after planning my parents' funeral, I went on Zoom calls like back to back, like 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Like I'm like, I must make this work. And I choose to see like her leaving as like a celebration of life rather than a very sad thing. That's just how I choose to see the world because that's how I was brought up. It's like I want to see the good in things. So what I take from her is like resilience, grit, creativity, courage, like all these things I can take with me. I had 25 years of great, deep, rich experiences with her. That's what I choose to take away. Some people's parents die at like 95, but they barely had 5 years together. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah.
If your mom is here today, what will you tell her?
I don't know what I would tell her, but I
Mm.
think I would ask her if she's proud of me. I
Mm.
think that's a question that I never had an answer to. And I don't care about a lot of people's opinions, but with the ones who really matter, I would want to know that, you know? Yeah.
I can 100% say that your mom is definitely proud of you, for sure. If I have a daughter like you, I'll be very
I
proud.
know people tell me
Yeah.
that, but it's like I would never know. And it's just one of those things that again you have to live with. Or you can be like, why did I never know? Or you can be like, I'm just going to make her as proud of me as possible, to be a good person, to live life happily. And that's why I run my business so differently as well. If it's gonna cost me my peace, if it's gonna cost me my sanity, my ethics, it's too expensive for me. I'm not doing it.
Well, you are really very strong-willed, and
Oh, thanks. I am proud of that actually.
like I have never come across someone with such a strong mindset.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll homeschool my kids. Like serious, like
If your kid doesn't get into uni, it's not my fault. You won't have the Asian parent flex.
my
But they
kid
might
will
have a
definitely
lot of
not.
zeros in their bank.
I think Elon Musk homeschool his kids as well.
Really?
Yeah,
The one of several dozens?
I think all of them, all of them. Okay, Janice, you built a multi six-figure business with
Yeah.
very high margins.
Yeah.
Like, can you share with us how do you do that?
I think I'm always looking at leverage. Like, how can you do more with less?
Okay.
Because I think most people, I would say, you know, for me, I see work as one part of the pie of life, right? So I think that's partially how I can manage business so well is that for me, my relationships are intact with social relationships, my relationship with self, which is mental, emotional, physical,
Mm.
spiritual, my health, it's good. And there are so many other pieces of the pie that even if everything in my work and career life fell to zero, I think I would still be okay because more than 75% of my life is still intact.
Mm.
That's one. Two is I always like to look at leverage. So again, going back to what I said, if you are a very local person, you grew up here your whole life, you love food, and you want to be setting up a business which is like a food influencer or a food KOL, right? Then don't go to a Michelin star place and pretend that you know what this foie gras or like this gratin or like this whatever it is, right? Like you don't even like it. Why are you doing it? Right? And then your niche is so much better in other places. Whereas if your father just happens to be a 3-star Michelin chef and you have a great palate, you've traveled the world with your father when he was a chef, then if you want to be a food KOL, go to fancier places. You get it and they get you. So rather than trying to think, what do people want to buy? What do people want to see from me? I always go with what do I have to offer and just lay it out there. And I really believe that if you can unapologetically lay out your value, put it out there and back that value with substance, like actual substance, the world will see you and appreciate you, because so many people are just so afraid of putting themselves out there.
Mm.
Like, oh, I had this idea. Oh, I actually had this um thing that I wanted to do. Like 5 years later, you're still here.
Mm.
So how is that ever going to materialize, right? So I think it's find your leverage, be unapologetically yourself, back that with substance. You can't just be different, you have to be different and better,
Mm.
like actually better with substance. So I think with both of those things, if you stay super, super focused and ignore all the noise, you will end up somewhere good.
Mm.
Yeah.
So Janice, you specialize in helping high performers like C-suites to build their personal brand. Is that right?
Yeah, like senior leaders, business owners, anyone with a business agenda or ROI. I
Okay.
think visibility is key in today's world. Like, even if you are the best pasta in Singapore, if no one knows, it doesn't matter.
Right. Do you think your expertise will apply in my industry where I sell to masses
Yeah,
on LinkedIn?
yeah, why not?
Okay. I'll definitely find out more from you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why do you think that it wouldn't, out of curiosity?
I would have thought that all my target audience is on Instagram and TikTok.
Okay, who is your target audience? Life exercise.
Probably people between the age of like 18 to like 27, 28.
You mean like people who maybe are looking
As
for internships or their first job?
or aspiring entrepreneurs.
Where do you think they are? Do you not think that they are creating their LinkedIn profiles to send a backup plan for their resume or CV? Do you not think that they are interning, trying to reach business owners, which they don't have the network in their WhatsApp phone? So if they're a little more creative as, entrepreneurial younger people, they will
Mm.
find a way to reach you. And one of the best places is LinkedIn, because I know that the boss of that company is legit. He's not going to lie about his experience or number, and he's one click away. So
Mm.
I think that everyone is online now, from
Okay.
interns to CEO, which is the great thing about LinkedIn, I feel. Like,
Mm.
interns to CEOs are one click away. Like, where else in the history of the world can you find that? Right? But then now, of course, there's LinkedIn Premium and stuff like that. It's not going to be forever. So if you don't leverage the tools around you, the wave will go away. And then you'll be like, oh, I wish,
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. I will definitely look into that. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for sharing.
No worries.
Janice, you mentioned that you take care of the other parts of your life. So
Yeah.
how is your ideal day like?
I don't really have an ideal day.
Okay.
I know it's very cliche, but I think I'm living my ideal life right now, which is, I think, the number one thing that I prioritize is my relationship with myself. So for that, it'll be like physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. I feel like if I'm good, I can then better show up for my friends. I can better then show up for my
So
clients,
so
for my
do
business.
you have a routine every day, or it's like how do you determine when to work out? When do you
Oh,
like
I have a morning and evening routine.
okay.
So my morning routine is like, I believe like headspace is really important, and I don't look at my phone the first hour when I wake up, and the last hour when I sleep is like no phones. A very big practice that I have every single day is that I have a gratitude journal that I started from 2016-ish.
Wow.
Every
Okay.
single day I write down one thing that I'm grateful for, so that when you feel like your life is shit, I just look at it and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so freaking lucky. And I think, a lot of times when we think that things are not going our way, whether we're a student, all the way to working professional to an entrepreneur, we always get to a level where everything becomes normalized, right? So when we face problems, we tend to focus on those negatives,
Mm.
but that's not really going to help you again. Like, the world sucks, the client betrayed me, my business partner, whatever. It's not really going to help you. And I find that gratitude really like shifted everything for me. It made me so happy. Like, every day when I wake up, I'm like, what can I create today? Like, what can I create today? Maybe a 6-figure deal is going to land in my lap tomorrow. Like, who knows? And I show up with that energy of like, how can we create more in this world?
Wow. So you don't have a set time where you exercise, but every morning at night you do a gratitude journal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't use my phone. And I'm very clear about what I want to do in that particular day. So every day is different.
Do you plan your time 1 week in advance, or it's like or one
I
day?
plan my time broadly 1 month in advance, but then every night before I go to bed, I already know what I'm up to the next day.
Hmm.
Yeah, I also have like days where I'm an introvert, like very introverted actually. So I think I have days where I need to move with my energy. There'll be days where I just don't meet people. For example, if I block Tuesday and Friday as my non-meeting days, even if a CEO messages me, I'm so sorry, I'm not free. Like, I just protect my peace and my time. That way I can function at optimal energy.
So what do you do in that free time then? What do you do in your me time?
Like non-work
Yeah.
things, like read, spend time with people I love. I think also learning. Like learning is a very big thing for me. Even though I don't believe in school, doesn't mean I don't believe in learning. So for me, it's like every day I want to be better than yesterday. So I can be better emotionally. I can learn to manage myself better. I can learn a new marketing thing. It doesn't have to be a 2-hour lecture. It can just be a 15-minute thing.
Mm.
I watch Diary of a CEO. I
Mm.
see the kind of questions that he asks. I watch someone else that's really charismatic. I hate them personally, the brand wise, but why do they make it? Like why do they make it? I want to know, because not everyone is the same, right? So if I work with a variety of clients, I want to know why different things are working in different markets. And if I'm not going to find out, like who is, right?
Mm.
So yeah.
Are there days where you don't feel like doing anything? Like, are there days where you are like unmotivated?
Yes. But here's where I don't know if everyone will agree,
Yeah.
but I have this rule, which is act on my goals, not my feelings. Feelings can lie to you. Your thoughts can lie to you. You might think I'm a shit human, but it doesn't mean that you actually are a shit human. You might think I'm the number one richest person in Singapore, but it doesn't mean that you're the number one richest person in Singapore. So rather than listen to very reactive thoughts and feelings, I prefer to be more centered and more proactive about the things that I think. So I always act based on what do I want.
Mm.
It's what I want, right? It's not what society imposes on me. And I always act on what's the best action to move me forward to my goal. And in that, I think life is very simplified. It's just very simple. Does this move me forward to my goal? No, I don't do it. Does this move me forward to my goal? Yes, I do it. So be it people, meetings, whatever, like life becomes very straightforward and you don't have to like overthink so many things, you know?
Janice, do you have an idol? Do you have a person that you really admire?
Not really. I've never really been like a fan girl of anything. For me, I really want to be the creation of like the it girl in my head, or the woman that I want to be. I created my ideal version of her. And for me, it's like I want to be closer to that every single day.
If you were to lose everything today, including your contacts,
Yeah.
including your skills,
Yeah.
what will you do to make your first 10, 20K a month?
I would pick up my phone and talk about something I'm interested in. Yeah. I think that because people are not real when it comes to topics about be it dating, be it mindset, be it money, be it family dynamics, whatever it is, like people are just not real. So the moment you're real and authentic, people are really drawn towards that. People are drawn to excited people. Everyone's so jaded. Everyone's so stressed out. Everyone's so sick of life. Everyone's so bored. If you can be excited about something genuinely, people want to be around that. And from there, social media is a free platform. You can work with brands. You can create a service-based offer that doesn't require any capital. There's a lot of things that you can do. It's just whether or not you want to do it. And I believe that true entrepreneurs don't have to be afraid of losing everything, because it's like a chef that created a menu, you know? And I have all these skill sets in myself. I have this creative genius. I created a 12-course menu. If I lost everything today, I lost all the ingredients, I'll just create another menu.
Mm.
That's when you know you actually have substance. And if you feel like you can't, it's time to work on your skill set.
Do you mind revealing to the audience what's your margins like? Or okay,
At least 90 to 95%.
okay, that is unheard of. Like, how many team members do you have, and do you use AI to delegate and automate your work?
0 team members. Like when there are super big projects, if I get a super big project, I will hire on contract maybe to deliver the
Okay.
project. But I think broadly speaking, no. And I really believe that, you know, people always say, how do you make $1 million, right? To me, it's like you can make $1 million by selling a 50 million diamond, just connecting the right people, and you have $1 million in cash. Like you don't always need a lot of resources, a lot of teams. And so for me, reverse engineering, again, is something that I like to do. I think like, what is my goal? I want the most okay money or good money for me with the least amount of time, so that I can free up my time and energy to be creative, to learn more, to spend time doing things that I like, to be with the people who matter to me. Then what's the best business model for that? So I think even in the business space, it can become another school where everyone's like, oh, look at this entrepreneur, that entrepreneur, like you should be this, you should do this, you should be like this. At the end of the day, it's you and your life. Like you have to decide that for yourself. Otherwise, you'll find yourself, maybe you have multiple 7 figures, but you're super unhappy. You don't know what to do. You're super scared. What are my entrepreneurial friends going to think of me if I quit this 8-figure business now? And you'll be trapped in another cycle. And I don't think anyone wants to feel stuck, trapped, or unhappy.
But don't you hire like editors to like edit your work, or like you have 0 team members?
No, I think especially now with AI, there are so many editing stuff that can be done. I mean, honestly, I feel like humans are just there to manage the process, to manage people. That's my view. Like, I
Okay.
feel like it doesn't mean that I think AI is going to replace everything. I think AI is going to be like how, you know how Instagram filters came about? So you don't have to do your makeup. You
Yeah.
can just have instant makeup. It doesn't mean that the human behind it is not necessary.
it.
You just need to learn to work with it.
Oh, and because you're on LinkedIn, the work required for editing is much less, right? Because it's more towards copywriting and
Yeah,
is that
but
right?
yeah, but I actually, you know, one thing about me is I don't really like edits. I like to just talk and be myself. I like to write and be myself. I don't really like ChatGPT. Like, yes, sometimes when a situation requires it, then yes, do it. But for me personally, I think learning to read, think, and communicate your ideas is such an invaluable skill. If you just use ChatGPT for everything, everyone can use ChatGPT. You're going to sound like everyone else. And I think you lose the real valuable thing in it, which is actually getting better at skills, like real skills, people skills, learning how to communicate, whether it's video, whether it's in person, whether it's online.
What is that one big goal for you, like in the next 3 to 5 years?
I don't actually think that I've achieved everything in life. Very far from it. I've never operated with the one big goal. I'm quite spontaneous, but one thing that I live by is actually a quote from my mom. She says, like, everybody wants to chase success. Everybody's definition of success is different, right? But to have a successful life, what is a successful life? It's just living a successful day today, and then tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after. You have a successful month, successful year, and eventually a successful life. Like, don't overthink it. Don't like think of this big arbitrary thing. You know, just try to do your best today. The best is all you can give anyway. Like, that's literally your max. That's the max out version of life that you can live. So I live by that every day, which A, removes a lot of stress, B, makes me a lot happier, and C, somehow ends me up in like good, positive situations.
So you rather focus on being 100% present than to think about some goals that haven't happened yet.
Because you just don't know. Like,
Yeah.
you can have a plan, but I don't know if it's gonna work or not. All I know is my input today. So why not focus on that? Yeah.
And I guess like what you mentioned, perhaps a plan and a goal is just for you to set the direction.
Yeah.
And after that, it's just about being present every single day and just being better.
Yeah. I think one thing that I do want to say is, like, in business and entrepreneurship, I think there are a lot of stressed out and worried people too. I think it's just part of the game. But to me, it's like, if I'm worried about something happening or not happening next quarter, when I have that meeting, if the guy rejects me, for example, I'll face that worry then. But if from today, 60 days away from that meeting, I'm worrying about it every single day, I'm like worrying about it 60 times rather than just one time. Why would I do that to me? So I think that's one way that I also use to optimize my headspace.
Have you ever fell into the trap of like comparing yourself with others and tying your success to your self-worth? Has that happened to you
I think
before?
that's two different questions, right? So
Yeah.
have I ever compared myself with others? No.
Not at all.
No. Like, you know,
Wow.
when I was a kid, right? I didn't know if I was smart or not. Like, eventually later I know I'm like maybe not dumb because, you know, NUS gave me first class honors. But before that, for 18 years, people are like, oh, you're just a pretty face, whatever. And I never really like took it, internalized it. I'm just like, that's your opinion, whatever, right? Like, I always deep down thought that I'm not dumb. Even though I wouldn't say I'm super smart or whatever, I always deep down felt like I'm not dumb. And to me, it's like, what you think of me is your problem. What I think of me is the most important thing. So I never really compared myself to other people, even though I may not be the smartest, the best looking, the most well networked. To me, it's like, these are the chips I'm given. What great can I do with it? And when I look at someone who is better looking, smarter, richer, I actually feel like if it's possible for them, I want to learn from them. Like, how do you do your hair? How do you do your makeup? How do you build this business? How are you able to travel while running a team of 30? Like, I'm curious, and I think that's like a great trait that has served me as well. Like, I want to know how you do it, because rather than it being impossible, it's now within the realm of possibility, because you, a real life human being, is sitting in front of me showing me that it's possible. So I just want to know how. And I think when you approach people that way, they're very open to sharing with you. A lot of people, at least, would be very open to sharing with you. So that's one. Your next question was like, have I tied my identity to success? I think it depends on what success means again. To me, success is about how I feel, not what I have. So if I can tie my identity to feeling happy, feeling excited waking up every day, feeling grounded in myself, feeling proud of who I am, respecting myself, being someone that I would want my future kid, if any, to meet. If I can be someone like that, sure as hell I'll tie my identity to success. But if you're talking about material things, not really.
Wow, Janice, your mindset is really very awesome, man.
Oh, thank you.
Like
I worked so hard on it, by the way.
I have been doing my best to see if you have any weakness, you know.
I
can't.
do, I do.
Well, so what do you think are your biggest weaknesses?
I think that when it comes to personal relationships or some things in general, I'm someone that I really delusionally believe that if I want something bad enough, I can make it happen. Like there's no in this world for me.
Isn't that a strength?
So sometimes when there are like really bad people that I met in business, like these people are just maybe going through a season or whatever,
Okay.
and they really haven't done anything good to me or for me, I will still be like, no, I can do it. We can make it work. So sometimes it
okay.
keeps me in situations longer than is
Okay.
conducive for me.
So when it comes to like a bad partnership or relationship, you tend to
Yeah.
overinvest.
I tend to just not believe that I can't do it, which over time I realize that that's a flaw. There are some things that I just can't do, like compute
Okay.
math, and I shouldn't try. I should just pay someone to do it.
Got it.
Yeah.
And has that improved for you? Learning how to, you know, playing to your strengths?
Yeah,
Okay.
100%. Like I used to be someone who bootstrap everything myself, leverage everything myself, zero cost, right? But now I just think like I have 2 cats at home. To shower them, dry them, chase after
You
them.
shower your cats?
Yeah, it's
Like-
gonna take me
Okay.
6 hours, okay? I'm not an animal manager. But if I pay a few $100s for the groomer
Okay.
to pick them up,
Yeah.
wash them, whatever, send them back to my house, that's so worth it. Because I don't make a few $100s an hour, you know, I make way more than that. So these kind of things I think are just absurd things. Like I didn't pay for Spotify until this year. Because I'm just like, why should I? So there are all these weird little quirks, but I think knowing when to cut your losses and when to quit something is also very important, as much as not giving up.
Okay. If I have a ideal person with the best mindset, I'll think of you. So I'll make sure my team members watch
That's
the
a huge
podcast.
compliment.
No, I'm
Thank
serious.
you.
I'm serious. Like, no, when I teach aspiring entrepreneurs, the first thing that I emphasize the most is mindset, and I have 5 key mindsets that I always teach about.
I'm curious to know because my mindset is
Sure.
like very fluid.
Okay, so I think the first is taking responsibility versus playing the victim game.
Okay.
So I think many people, they tend to blame
Yeah.
everybody but themselves, and the opposite of taking responsibility, opposite of playing a victim is to take responsibility, which we clearly have demonstrated that. Secondly is learning how to be committed rather than being interested, right? Everybody wants to be wealthy.
Yeah.
Everybody likes to be wealthy. Everybody thinks it's nice to be wealthy, but the person that eventually becomes wealthy is the person that will do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that level of commitment that you will never ever give up, and you will just persevere.
Yeah.
The third is what I call a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset.
So
people with a fixed mindset, whenever they face a problem or challenge, they get destroyed by the problem.
Yeah.
Someone with a growth mindset learns how to be bigger than a problem, and they will grow and overcome the problem.
Yes, Carol Dweck. Love it.
Sorry?
Carol Dweck. She has a book on this.
Oh,
It's
okay.
literally
Carol Dweck.
Yeah, I think it's literally called
How do I spell her name?
growth mindset. CAROL
CRL?
DWENCK. I think, if I'm not wrong.
Carol Dweck.
Yeah, it's literally called growth mindset, I think, the book. Yeah.
Okay, the fourth is scarcity versus abundance.
Oh, yeah.
Poor people always have a fear of lack. They despise wealthy people. They hate someone for having so much.
Yeah.
But they fail to realize that there's enough for everybody in the world.
There's more than enough for
Yeah,
everybody in the world.
exactly.
And you can create things out of nothing.
Yeah, right. And I always tell people, like, you are a lot more powerful when you're wealthy.
Yeah.
There's no point being a disgruntled, poor individual. There's really no power to that.
I will say, though, there are people who start off differently from other people. But if you are poor in money, you're poor in network, you're poor in capital, that's not your fault. But if you're poor in mindset, that is your fault.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But then again, if I was to have empathy for people, the education system has brainwashed many of us to not have the right mindset. The truth is, I struggle in the education system. That's why I didn't get brainwashed in a bad way.
Can I counter that?
Yeah.
I actually feel like in today's, maybe 30 years ago, yes.
Okay.
But in today's world, even if school doesn't prepare you, how many hours are you spending in school? You have the internet. You literally have billionaires giving you advice, practitioner, multimillionaires giving you advice on what you should do, what's the first thing that could be done. You have direct access to them. You can email them a very well thought out letter. There's still so many ways, because you can't change the system, you can't change the country, you can't change the school. But what I'm trying to say is, if you take ownership, you will actually find creative ways on how can you get things done, even if the system is quote unquote against it.
I agree with you on that. But do you believe in like subconscious programming?
Yes.
From the age of 0 to 6,
Yes.
we get conditioned by our parents, our
Mhm.
surroundings, and
Yeah.
that is like a script that is installed in
Yes.
us. And I think many of us are playing according to that script. Yeah. So that's why I mentioned that when you're homeschooled, all these things comes out natural to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it is again, right? But then I still did hear that rich people are bad. For example, you know, like my parents weren't rich. So they gave me certain mindsets
So your parents believe that rich people are bad? Is that
sometimes, or that like wealthy people may
okay?
often do unethical things. All of which I don't think is true. I think there are wealthy people who do unethical things. I also think there are poor people who do unethical
Okay,
things
then
like steal.
I guess, right, to me, one of the most important trait to break through from this cycle
Yeah.
is to be very proactive in learning.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like whatever thing that you don't like, whether you don't believe in the education system or whether you feel like your family's money mindset is wrong, if you don't like it, what do you like? Go view a free video from an actual billionaire on how to think, how to see money, and then keep reinforcing that. If you say, I spend, you know, how many hours do people spend in school? 8? Yeah, I spend 8 hours in school. Well, you have 24 hours. What are you going to do with the other 16 hours? Listen to podcasts every single day.
Right. And you are who you mix with, right?
Exactly.
And to me, I believe that the truth is in the results. I
Yeah.
only listen to people with the right results in life. Like
Yeah.
today, if I want to be wealthy, I will listen to someone who is fit. I will listen to a
Correct.
fatty.
Yes.
If I want to be like super successful in business, I want to
Yeah.
mix with like business owners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
100%, man. Janice, it was a honor having to learn from you. I sincerely learned a lot.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's our honor. I'll definitely want to learn more from you for personal branding, for mindset as well. And thank you again for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
See you next time.
Yeah.